Good late evening, Master Duel fans. James Polk here. We got some great features on the match for you guys tonight. And looking at this, Fat 60, so I'm literally convincing a deck involving that grass look screener. But what could it be? Literally anything, who knows. So let's see what my opponent is on. So terraforming, wonder what's field. Adds magical meltdown. Okay, so that means invoke. But the question is, what engine involves invoke in any shape or form? We'll see what's up by then. Fires off Droll to prevent Alistair from being played out. So, normal summons Witchcrafter Jenny. Okay, so invoke Witchcrafters. When it comes to Witchcrafters, the smaller levels of 1 through 4, they literally share the same gimmick. But the graveyard effects, they actually do something very different amongst each other. So, the gimmick effect is, during the main phase, as of anyone's turn, you can tribute this and discard one spell with the exception of Buy Street or Scrolls to send from field to graveyard. Special summon one Witchcrafter straight from your deck that isn't that particular Witchcrafter. Most cases except Jenny. And in this one for Jenny, you can banish this and one Witchcrafter spell from graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. So basically, it is the Prisma, but copies the Witchcrafter spell, and then each effect of Jenny hard ones. Jenny ditch meltdown, special Shmieta, tossing out unveiling for Witchcrafter Madame Vare. The Omni negate to all monsters on your opponent's side of the field, does not target as of anyone's turn by ditching a spell. And on top of that, extra 1,000 attack and defense for every spell revealed whenever a spellcaster in any shape or form battles it out with a monster. Shmieta banish, toss out Witchcrafter Creation, which is the Stratos of the deck. And as for their Witchcrafter spell gimmicks, if you happen to control a Witchcrafters while the Witchcrafter spells in the grave, the Buy Street / Scrolls lets you place them back to the field face up, while the normal and or quick play Witchcrafter spells from the grave go back to the hand. So creation and unveiling and 2 unknown in hand. Drew into Pankratops and special it out. Opponent fires off Max C, chains Spirit Charmers in response to Max C. So no matter what the situation is, before Max C resolves, it's no draw card for the opponent. So as the spell sets the partnership strap, normal summons Win, draws the 1 card, Win into Artemis. You know, even though I normally don't let my opponent get their Max C off, but fine, they can get the 1 draw. And invoke Witchcrafter Eldritch. Yikes. Golden Lord, tossing out Unveiling, sending the spell to the grave. Activates Meltdown, change to partnerships, can't let Alistair be allowed. And then Gold Boy hits the field at a whopping 35, forcing out the Pankratops, kill the bear. Gold Lord attacks Win. Unpossessed gets out area. Adds Shmieta off from creation. Jenny activates. Copies off creation, I believe. Yep, copies off creation. and adds Golem Aruru. So at this point, first of all, before we go any further, as for Golem Aruru, whenever a card or effect that is activated that targets a spellcaster or targets it for an attack, target one monster, or target one card, your opponent controls, or one witchcrafter spell from the grave, it gets placed back to the hand, and on top of that, Golem Aruru gets special. And then as for the side effect of Aruru, during your opponent's standby phase, put it back to the hand. And at this point, we basically got full knowledge, and opponent normal summons Shmieta. By streets, placed on field, unveiling back in hand. So anything I do in terms of targeting a spellcaster or forcing out an attack on it, one of my cards is going to get kicked back to the hand. So partnerships, placing back the spell, Shmieta, ditch, the unveiling, special out Witchcrafter Hane, which I totally forgot about, activates the spell, normal summons Hita, awakening spell to get to draw one, but Hane sending away the by streets to kill the awakening spell just so that I'm not going to get the one draw. And it's the same old song and dance with the Link summoning. Artemis and Hita for Hita Link, Shmieta being used by Hita Link for Selene. Selene with 7 spell counters, removing the 3 for Wind. Selene and Wind for access. 3000 boost. Banish the Artemis. Kill the Hane. Access code over Golden Lord. And area gets in there. Shmieta banish. Toss out Jenny. Jenny banish. Unveiling. Now, what is the cause of all this? Witchcrafter unveiling. So Jenny copies off unveiling just so that one Witchcrafter gets special summoned from the hand, and on top of that, it's literally the same side effect as Sky Striker multi-roll, but for spellcaster monsters. One set. Golden Lord gives up Invocation, and Gold Boy comes back. Golem Aruru over area. Unpossessed. Special out Osa. By streets placed back. On my standby, Golem Aruru is about to escape, but breakthrough skill says no escape for that matter. Access. Banish Hita, kill by streets. Access. Banish Selene. Kill the Golem Aruru. Over Gold Boy by access, and also gets in there. And at this point, it's basically controlling the board in any way. Normal summons to Ash. Osa and Ash for Osa Link. Access, banish Osa, turns out to be a set Ash. And that is game. And this next clip of the challenge should be interesting. Bingo Machine Go. So apparently up against Blue Eyes. So in this one for Bingo Machine Go, reveal 3 cards from your deck that each meets at least one of the criteria listed below. Your opponent randomly picks one, adds it to the hand, and the rest gets shuffled back. So list of the following based on the criteria: Blue Eyes monster, spell/trap card that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, except Bingo Machingo. So Chaos Form is the first choice. Ritual summon any Chaos or BLS ritual monster. And obviously, ritual summoning is all about tributing monsters from hand or field and or banish Blue Eyes or Dark Magician from grave whose total levels exactly equals the level of the Chaos or BLS ritual monster you ritual summon. Another Chaos Form. Another Chaos. So basically mandatory Chaos Form. So that means I'm literally convincing turn 1 Chaos Max like no tomorrow. And apparently turn 1 Chaos Max as predicted. Drew into Lightning Storm, but unfortunately no use due to Chaos Max being a card can't be killed or anti-target with its effects. So most cases had to get the Unpossessed ready in case something goes down. And on top of that, if I put something in defense, it's going to be doubled and the game would be immediately over, assuming that if I'm planning to set draw, which I'm not doing that. So normal summon Win, sending the 2 for Reaper. Reaper revives Win. Win for Artemis. Artemis and Reaper for Lina. Reaper effect to search, but Ash keeps the Reaper in check. Lina steal Blue Eyes. Maiden activates. Breakthrough skill says no to get the Blue Eyes out from hand, deck, or graveyard. Chaos Max over Blue Eyes White Dragon. Unpossessed. Special Hita. Activates Return of the Dragon Lords. Monster Reborns a level 7 or level 8 dragon from grave. And if a dragon were to be killed by battle or effect, banish the Return of the Dragon Lords instead. Lina steal the Maiden. Lina Link and Hita for Hita Link. Hita Link steal the Ash. Hita Link and Maiden for Celine. Exactly 3 spell counters, which is doable. Celine revives the Asa. Asa and Ash for Asa Link. Asa Link and Celine for access. 3000 boost. A 1 by banishing Artemis, killing Blue Eyes, access over Chaos Max, but Return of the Dragon Lords saving it. Top decks Monster Reborn, fetching out Blue Eyes White Dragon. Access, banish Celine to pop Blue Eyes, and access over Chaos Max. It's still not lethal yet. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. And this next clip of this challenge, this is going to be interesting and... okay, this is not interesting at all. So, Necro Valley is being placed. So, when it comes to Necro Valley, all Gravekeepers monsters gains 500 attack and defense. Nice. Cards in the grave can't be banished, which stinks for the partnerships, by the way. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. So in other words, no Reborns, no Reapers, none of that junk unless it's the actual GK cards that can move around to different locations. And on top of that, negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. So most cases, in terms of graveyards, assuming that if the card comes into the game one of those days, that would be Rebirth of Judgment, so no to that card. And at this rate, it made me think, if I don't find Lightning Storm in terms of turn 1 top deck or Harpy's Feather Duster sooner rather than later, chances are I'm going to immediately lose the game just because of Necro Valley being a card. And sets one. So I'm literally convincing a stun player. Who knows? Normal summons Renryu and fires off Torrential. Set one and game is simplified. Flips a Unpossessed just in case something goes down. Fairy Tales placed. Instant Fuse. Mud Dragon of the Swamp so that the board is no harm. Normal summons Droll. Activates Dogmatica Punishment. And I'm chaining Mud Dragon just to make it Earth, just in case some shenanigans comes down. And as for Dogmatica Punishment, and what did my opponent toss out? Not gonna lie, I thought I expected to toss out Apcalone or Titanic Clad at the very least. But instead, we got E-Hero Grand Neos. So most cases, Contact Fuse out of Neos and Grand Mole. And first chance the card sticks the landing. Target one monster your opponent controls, kick it back to the hand. And then during the end phase, shuffle it back. Unpossessed, special out to Hita. Gets in for 1850. Mud Dragon Ihita to an Asa. Oh, and if you're wondering about how Asa Link shows up while Mud Dragon was on board, made Mud Dragon and Earth when Punishment was activated. Asa Link for 1850. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The actual GKs. So, when it comes to Necro Valley Throne, activate one of those. Add a GK from deck to hand, otherwise, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a GK monster. Hard once on Necro Valley Throne. Adding in Gravekeeper Spy. If anyone knows the modern days of Yu-Gi-Oh!, we know what's up with Spy. First chance that it gets flipped, special a GK straight from the deck with 1500 or less attack. Set 1 could be literally anything. Mind Control, which presumably Spy, which it was. Flip up the Spy, normal area. Spy in area for area link. You know, I was finna get ready to go for the kill, but Solemn Strike made it happen. So most cases, Asa gets in for 1850. Sets 2. Yup, not afraid of back row. Let's get to it. Also finish off. Ooh. Storming Mirror Force. First chance an attack declaration comes up. Kick back all attack position monsters your opponent controls back to the hand. Still searching for a normal summonable monster with some actual attack to it. Normal summons GK Recruiter. Now in this one for Recruiter, if this card you control is sent to the graveyard, add 1 GK with 15 or less defense from deck to hand, as in not once per turn. Note to self, get the Recruiters. The fact that he is a spellcaster 15 defense, which means cards such as Unpossessed gets things going because Special A spellcaster with 15 defense from deck, and then partnerships as well. Specials A spellcaster 15 defense from hand or graveyard, but due to Necro Valley, no point of partnerships. Recruiter gets in for 17. Fairy Tale Tales reveal Alsa. Activates Necro Valley Throne in response to Fairy Tale Tales. And this one, while a GK and Necro Valley are both on the field, which it is, monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. And on top of that, during the main phase, if you control no card in your field zone, straight up activate Necro Valley from the hand or graveyard. Ugh. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's effect and sent to the grave, straight up set Necro Valley spell trap straight from the deck except the temple. Pretty gross of a card. No extra, no more to Alsa, no more to Ash. Fairy Tale Tales also exist. No damage. Unpossessed, special win. Also over Recruiter. Recruiter searching. GK Commandant. Note to self. Craft a guy as well because spellcaster 15 defense. I think I may be onto some shenanigans involving the GKs in the near future builds, because most of them, if not all of them, are spellcaster 15 defense. So this is something I might cook up one of those times. And then as for GK Commandant here, ditch him, get Necro Valley specifically from deck to hand. Win, finish off, and that is game. This next clip here, okay, literally nothing. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Up against Melfi's. So, according to Melfi's, they are level 2 Earth Beasts, and their gimmick effect is, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster or monsters, more than one, outside of the damage step, or If an opponent's monster targets this card for an attack, kick it back to the hand, and then they do something based on whichever Melfi's you return. So in this one for Fenny, special a beast from hand, no matter what level it is, that isn't Fenny. And then during the end phase, special summon this card from your hand. And of course, I'm literally convincing that is what all Melfi's be doing, is that during your end phase, special it out for the hand. And this made me think, when it comes to Melfi's, the very first thing in my mind would be Tri-Brigade Melfi, because if anything about Melfi's, the fact that they are beasts, is that it made me think Tri-Brigades can legit synergize with the Melfi's just to have easy access with the beasts, beast warriors, or winged beasts in any shape or form. So either way, I'm literally convincing this has to be Melfi Tri-Brigade. So we'll see. We'll see. At the base, Fairy Tale Tales. And then Dark Ruler. Technically, I never really cared about it. Normal summon it to pass by. Dark over Fenny. Dark over Artemis. And Partnerships is live just in case. End phase. At the base, Partnership reviving Dark. And no to the destruction. Spirit Charmer's active. Ditch the Droll. Chains Maxi. Grabs Alsa. Sets the spell. Activates Awakening spell. Fairy Tale Tales. Extra normal Alsa. Awakening draws a card. Now, as for Artemis running over Hop Ear Squadron. Now, Hop Ear Squadron here, it was recently seen off from the Fat 60 Adventure Synchro decks, aka Based. So, in this one for Hop Ear Squadron, during your opponent's main phase as a quick effect, target one face-up monster you control, special this from hand, and if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, put up a Synchro Summon by using this and that target. And then the effect of Hop Ear Squadron once per turn. Alsa and Dark gets it. As for Nimble Beaver on the normal summon, when this card is normal summon, special 1 level 3 or lower Nimble monster from deck or graveyard. But unfortunately, Ash keeps the Nimble Beaver in check. And Melfi player scoops up. So guys, that's going to do it for tonight. If you love to see more Charmer action, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell to keep yourselves constantly updated. And I'll catch you guys next time. Later.